completely logically the same size as the pitch here at the new lawn. That again makes complete sense. It's total logic from Steve Cottrell, as you would expect, and I think this is not a nice place for opponents to come in terms of, yes, all right, the surface is lovely, but what they don't want it to be is to be
as the teams have just broke out of a huddle. Both of them are in the huddle as Forest Green still in it. Ryan Innes giving a big old team talk. They're going from left to right, so they're going towards the north stand. Forest Green will be defending in front of the south stand, so Ted Can gets the applause of the fans behind him. Steve Cottrell's here, by the way. He's in the technical area. He's just spoke to Dan Connor before the game today. He's stood up at the edge of his technical area. Matt Taylor for Solihull also overlooking things. We'll go to that Shortwood line-up shortly as they take the kick-off, and Whitmore goes down the right-hand side, and Ted Can picks up the ball as it's drifted into his penalty area.
Got a warm reception when he came out for his warm-up earlier as well. There was about 3 young fans on the advertising hoardings who saw him and gave him a really loud cheer, and he responded to that. So actually it has been a warm welcome for Ted Can.
Kicks the ball out, looking for Doige, who has a decent battle with that Whitmore. Long picks up the loose ball. Solihull come away with it through Osborne. Forest Green quite a high press at the moment, but Solihull plays the ball around them and holding the ball up well. So Dodo on the left-hand side. Force go back to Clark. So that's Solihull line up right in goal. The back 4 as the long ball goes back into Can's penalty area. Clark on the left-hand side. Whitmore, Cundy and Paul Johnson in the midfield. Tipton, Osborne, Well Morrison and Thorpe. Up front, Duku and Dudo. As Harry stands on the ball. The scoreboard says 90, we're a long way from that, as the first touch from Oliver Wright as he dives off McAllister. The ball goes into his penalty area. It's always going to be Wright's to win.
Yeah, it's too early for them to be starting the clock, because the 12:30 kick-off that's throwing them. They still got the score right though, 0-0.
So that is?
At least 50% right.
Forest Green won at Solihull early on in the season. Wright's kick goes straight off for a throw-in. He deliberately played on the left-hand side, looking for Dodo. Just the wind took it away. It's not. We've started to see it a lot windier here at the new lawn, but it's swirling around when we were on the pitch earlier. Harris wants to go long as Osborne and Doige are going to run. Interesting to see where Forest Green are lined in the midfield. Does seem that Osborne's in that number 10 role. Oscar Davies, sorry, Osborne's playing for Solihull. Oscar Davies in that number 10 role behind the front 3. And Solihull have the throw. And also that game at Solihull, of course, talking of goalkeepers, there was a penalty save from their previous lone keeper. They've had 3 this season, Jed Ward. Rolls that gone back to Liverpool. Ted Can has the ball in the penalty area, taps it up to Harris. Osadebe in the midfield at the moment. Does seem to be playing in that central midfielder role. I think what he's most used to across his career, not necessarily the season.
Second striker, isn't he?
McAllister gets the ball back to Bunker, back to Innes. Something we see already, Paul, is Ted Can, he's shouting and he's starting instructions to his defenders in front of him.
Well, he's 24. He's more experienced than the previous loan keepers that Forest Green have had this season. He's had loan spells as well at Yeovil, at Telford and Leamington. He's played for West Brom in the league. He's played for Leamington certainly in the league. He's third choice at West Brom, so he's got his squad number there. And, this keeps him topped up with games, if nothing else. But, he's probably just a little bit more confident coming here than...
Long does really well, tests the ball down into the penalty area. Doige in the middle, he goes back to McAllister, takes a touch. His second touch takes it away from goal, plays it across goal. Garrett plays it back to no one in particular, and May picks up the loose ball. Well, that's a really good chance for Forest Green. They've still got the ball with May, edge of the box to McAllister. Bunker wants it on the edge of the D. He plays to Doige in the middle, backheels it beautifully to May, puts the ball across goal, saved at the near post from Wright. And Solihull managed to clear up the line. It's a really good play for Forest Green. And this gets the ball back and wins itself a throw. which he takes quickly back to Harries, but Forest Green looking really confident on the ball then, and a great chest down for Long to create that attack.
Yeah, I mean, it was 2 chances in one, wasn't it? First Sean Long got in, and then Adam May got in. Long played the percentage ball, laid back to Carl McAllister. Long
goes on the right hand side. He's impressive in the first few minutes of this game, puts the ball towards the far post, no one's there. It does find go back to Garrick, who's the player searched for. Solihull goes safely first and head it off for a Forest Green corner. No real need to do that. The Forest Green, they're just creating pressure the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I don't think Solihull defender knew what was behind him. He had a yard, he maybe could have chested it down and then hacked it off for a throw in on the far side acrobatically, but great motoring down the right hand side by Sean Long. Variety of passes in. First one played the percentage ball back to Carl McAllister. The tougher ball was to play in Christian Deutsch, but McAllister got closed down very, very quickly, and Rovers just did well, kept possession, and then got Adam May in.
Solihull got every man back defending this corner. May takes it, going towards the near post, and it goes in towards Ennis, whose erratically shot is saved off the line, and Forest win themselves another corner. Ennis is looking at the lines and saying, how did that not go in? But the Solihull defender, also it was there in the congested 6-yard box, heroically kept his team in it.
Well, it was flicked on inadvertently, I think, by a Solihull defender in the first place, and Ennis was diving acrobatically. I think he might have just hurt himself a little bit. He's up now on his feet and just flexing a few muscles, but he got something on it, and it looked for all the world like it was going to be a goal, but same as his acrobatic efforts and commitment, Solihull defender off the line. It's one of those, you want goal line technology in the National League, don't think we're going to get it.
McAllister with the subsequent corner, plays way towards the far post. Deutsch can't get onto the end of it, and trickles off for a goal kick, and still keeping an eye on Ennis now. He's trying to jog off whatever knock he took. But a fantastic chance there for Forest Green. I think Ennis can believe his luck, because you're right, it was an inadvertent flick onto him, and he was just there, and the keeper was beat, but out of nowhere. I was trying to find out who the defender was. It was congested there, and
they left him unmarked. You know, he's not ordinarily going to be unnoticed in an opposition penalty area at 6'5", Ryan Ennis, is he? So it's one of those, the runs did really, really well for Forest Green. Solihull defending the back post from the second corner, much more organised, blocked off Harvey Bunker, he wasn't happy.
Forest Green are playing well in the first 7 minutes here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. Oster Davey can't get the ball to go forward, and it's cleared through back to Ennis, to Khan, who's got a big boot on him, and it wins itself a throw. Alex Whitmore heading off for Forest Green throw. Long takes quickly. Long's been bright since starting today. Whitmore plays the ball back to his keeper, Wright, who plays the ball high into the air. Bunker wins 50-50, goes behind him, and the second ball's won by Solihull.
Yeah, Bunker got a little bit of a nudge, that's why he can direct the header where he wanted to, and Ryan Ennis was involved in a wrestling match with Joseph Dodu. Some good physical battles going on, and our referee James Durkin's letting a little bit go so far.
Hall Johnson's the player we need to give the credit for that clearance off the line. It was a great one by Rhys Hall Johnson, stopping Ryan Ennis. McAllister's peeled away on the right hand side, offside though from the assistant referee. McAllister's having a bit of a word with him. Like, you look at the fans around us, there's not too many arguments with him who are in line with it. And he just took his run a bit early. Oster Davey going high up, and Sean Longpaw he's impressed going forward, hasn't he, so far today in the first 8 minutes of the game? Well,
I think sitting on the sidelines on the subs bench in recent weeks, he's seen what Manny Oster Davey's brought to the role and how that's helped the team, and he is good going forward, Sean Long. There's a perception maybe that he isn't quite as good as Oster Davey, who's obviously, got that engine, and so the challenge is there for Sean Long. Right, show us what you can do going forwards as well, and so far he's doing that.
And he certainly has shown us what he could do in the first 9 minutes of this game. It's still 0-0. Harries clears up the line, looking for Garrick, who heads the ball back into his own half. Gives it to Harries. The ball ricochets up to his hand. He calls from the Solihull fans that it should be a handball.
And the Solihull bench as well.
Outside the penalty area, Oster Davey brings the ball down well in the Solihull half, shrugs off one challenge, forced back, and finds McAllister unmarked in the midfield. Ball over the top to Deutsch, who's onside. This is Garrett, but the ball just goes away from them in the hands of Oliver Wright. He's in a light blue kit today. Ted Can in the Forest Green home kit of the pink top shorts and socks with a few black stripes on the top.
2 left-footed keepers as well. You don't get that many times in a game.
And just the presence of Ted Can, I think, has been good for Forest Green. Confidently shouting his teams in front of him. First free kick's given against Robson, taking down Elliot Thorpe just on the halfway line.
Yeah, he's listed as 6'2", Ted Can, but looks a little bit bigger than that. Dan Connor says he's an imposing figure, and Dan Connor is an imposing figure himself. So if that's his verdict on Ted Can, that's a pretty good compliment.
Got quite a mean haircut, hasn't he? Just a nice shaved head. Imposing as the free kick's taken quickly in the wrong half there. Referee says get back to where it should have been taken. Referee today is James Durkin. It's the first free kick he's given. It's right, it was significantly taken out of position.
Son of Paul Durkin as well, isn't he? Got the similar build to his dad.
As Solihull go out to the right. Tipton plays the ball over the top and he's looking to find a teammate going forward. And Solihull give away a goal kick. I thought they might try to win a corner, but it came off them last. And Ted Can has this goal kick. He's got his options of Innes and Harris either side of him to go short. He was announced today, but he was certainly in and around the squad, I hear, yesterday. It's not like he's just got off the coach and said, hello, I'm Ted.
And one thing that I did notice, the first back pass to him from Ryan Innes, under a little bit of pressure, Innes still remembered to go to his left foot. And that sort of thing just makes a difference if you're a goalkeeper coming in new to a team that actually your defenders know which foot to play it back to. I'm sure he could take it on his right if he needs to, but the preference would be for the left.
Well, he's putting the pressure on Whitmore. Didn't win the 50-50, but Whitmore's header went behind him for a Forest Green throw. No Knowles or Tozer for the long option today.
But it gets Forest Green up the pitch, doesn't it? Win a set piece in the opposition, on the edge of the final third for the opposition, and suddenly you can put bodies in the box.
No Long option, but Long is the option with the throw. Sean Long takes the throw to May.
That's Long with the short option.
Back to Long. McAllister looks to backheel it to him. It's just too congested, and Solihull look to clear up the line. McAllister putting the pressure on though. They're camped deep in their own half by the corner flag, and only half clear. May picks up the scraps in the final third. Looks like the shot on the edge of the D. Calls him to shoot, but he's been forced further away from goal. Good defending from Solihull to making sure he couldn't get any space. Osadebe gets the ball back, forced back again himself to May. Back to Osadebe, turns beautifully there. And Solihull get a boot in, and good defending from them without actually getting a touch there. They forced Forest Green to play the ball all the way back to Ted Can.
Yeah, they're organised, Solihull. They're big as well, and I think having Osadebe and Bunker coming into that midfield will help Forest Green compete in there. If you had Circum and McCann in there, it would be a very different game. You'd look to play around them, but Forest Green can go toe-to-toe with Solihull, as well as obviously still look to play around them and through them.
Garrick wins the header back to Innes, who calmly brings the ball down. 13 minutes gone here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. So Forest Green 0, Solihull 0 in the early kick-off. That was the trio of commentary here today on Steve Kitchen's match day. With commentary of Hartbury in the FA Vars at 3 o'clock. And then all focus on the rugby at 5:30.
Yeah, this is our second commentary on BBC Radio Gloucestershire inside 24 hours.
Yeah, of course, with Cheltenham Town losing to Tranmere last night. As they're making a bit of amendments to the team sheet. They have Duku as number 6.
And he's wearing number 11, isn't he?
And also at the Tiger Turf Stadium last night, Gloucester City beat Tiverton.
1,800 fans there. It was a good crowd.
And I wouldn't be surprised. Might even be a bit less today. It'll be interesting to see the figures how they are at the new lawn today. But yeah, a good atmosphere there at the Tiger Turf Stadium last night. As Solihull play the ball up the right-hand side. And reset through Cundy. And Forest Green just backing off a little bit. We go back to the keeper of right. Garrick half thinks about charging him down. He plays it around him to Cundy on the right hand side. That 2 or 3 minutes of pressure on Forest Green has just drifted away. A lot of space for Clark on the left hand side if Solihull can find him, but they stay with Osborne down the right. And the ball played into the box. Harry's touch is poor and it goes away from him into the penalty area, but thankfully it wasn't the best touch on Dooku, and Forest Green managed to clean up.
Yeah, Carl McAllister dropping back into those pockets, doing a good job, and I think we will see the wide players doing that for Forest Green today, purely because if you're playing with Osadebe so high, then the likes of Garrick and McAllister will drop back a bit, probably more naturally Carl McAllister's game than Jordan Garrick's, but there'll be the variety.
Thought he's searched for, he's offside. The assistant referee raised his flag, and that was the right call when the ball was played. He wasn't expecting it there, and he went down the right hand side the ball, and he chased down the lost cause, you could argue, but he is the offside. The flag was raised quite early there by the assistant referee, actually. Sometimes you see them do the 50-yard gut-busting run, then put the flag up.
He did wait till Doidge was about 3 yards away from the goal line before he raised the flag, and then there was a little nudge by Christian Doidge on Alex Whitmore, which I think came in frustration after he heard the whistle from referee Durkin.
It's chilly here at the New Lawn, as it always is. The early sun's drifted behind, it's getting more overcast, and the wind's just picking up a little bit. Osadebe comes and wins a good defensive header back to Bunker, to Innes, to Harris, to Garrick. He's a bit more on the central at the moment. Back to Ted Khan. Khan plays it back out to Harris. A lot of movement off the ball, but they still go through the defence of Innes. To Bunker, to May, and Harris again gets it, but they're getting yardage. Goes looking for Robson, left hand side, chests the ball down well, back heels it to Garrick, and a bit too pretty that, as Elliot Thorpe gets into the end and clears up the line and wins himself a throw.
Yeah, deflected off Garrick, who I think was just on his heels. He wasn't expecting the back heel from Jamie Robson, which, nice idea, but just didn't quite have the telepathy, which I don't think telepathy's proven, is it? So it's one of those that, unless it's called, there needs to be some sort of communication. You can't just expect a teammate to read a back heel all the time.
Solihull playing amongst the defence. Doidge charging down towards right. And it's pushing up a bit of a pressure Forest Green, but White plays it over the top. May wins the ball back though, again looking for Garrick, who can't get there, taken off by Hall Johnson. Solihull's looking a bit more getting into this game now, as May intercepts well read by May. Needs to go forward quickly. Doidge turns really well in the centre circle, drifts past two challenges and gives the ball back to Osadebe through May. To McAllister in the middle, it's created a good option. Doidge going further forward, Garrick on the left. McAllister does find Garrick, options in there with Osadebe and Long, still with Garrick to the left hand side of the goal. Back to May with the placement shot, looking for Osadebe, who I think was expecting the offside flag to come up, because he took a bit of a heavy touch and looked towards the assistant referee. He kept his flag well and truly down.
Yeah, it wasn't the contact that Adam May was looking for, first of all, was it? It surprised Manny Osadebe as much as anything, and that probably just led to the touch. And you're right, he probably did think he was offside, but a couple of lovely turns by Christian Doidge just to set that move up and go in for Forest Green. The crowd also lapped it up as well.
Yeah, ever popular Christian Doidge. Long forward, looking for McAllister, but it's well read by Solihull. And this with a big header to Bunker. Forest Green getting themselves in good positions here, aren't they? They've off the ball there, making space. McAllister, an example of doing just that. He picks up the ball from Osadebe. The word on the pitch is looking beautiful. And
I think the word is carpet.
It is, yeah, and just the fact where we are in the season, approaching April, and it looks like it's probably exactly the same as it did in August. Maybe not in August, because they of course played a few games later. It's probably being laid around then. As McAllister gets the ball nipped off him, so work hard to win the ball back and win himself a throw. Yeah, it's perfectly true at the moment. Long with the throw. 19 minutes gone, still goalless here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. Harris looks for Doidge, just can't find him, and McAllister's also there on the far side, but he can't get on the end of it either, and it goes off for a throw. Good kick to touch though, as it's right by the corner flag, deep in the Solihull half. Yeah,
opportunity for Forest Green just to box Solihull in again, and Rovers just got to keep playing the way that they are, because they created a couple of half chances, and obviously there was the big one for Ryan Innes, wasn't there? And they've just got to believe that actually, if they keep playing the way that they are, get in possession in good areas, the chances will come and the goals will come as well.
Garrick finds Long in the final third. Searching balls. Doige, you can't get the end of that header. Not too lack of commitment, I can tell you that. As a Solihull player down, as both Doige, I think, I'm not sure who the player is down. Looks for like Solihull, who certainly took a knock on the head. The physio's not needed.
Not as yet. The referee stopped it because it's a head knock, but also
right call to do, because he did go down quite quickly.
Yeah, stayed down, clasping his head, led flat out on his back.
The referee said don't come on, physio, but he's still down on the Solihull player. Eventually,
no, he does say, come on.
And it's the right call to do, because it certainly did take a bit of a knock. He was on the back end of a committed Christian Doige. Talking of going for touch, of course, reminder that there is rugby, the third of the commentary games today here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. Gloucester facing Bristol Bears at the Kingsholm Stadium, kick-off at 5:30.
Yeah, all the players coming in for a drinks break now. Elsewhere, FA Cup quarter-finals underway. First one at Craven Cottage. Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 1. Eberici Eze with the opening goal on 34 minutes. They started there before we started here. Steve Cottrell, by the way, giving some tactical advice to Carl McAllister and Sean Long, how he wants things to operate down the right-hand side. Now just having a chat with Harvey Bunker as well, and obviously he's seen something down this right-hand side, which is the near side, closest to the dugouts of Forest Green. Whitmore now sitting up as well, receiving treatment. Forest Green's club doctors on the edge of the pitch as well, just showing a little bit of concern now, beginning to walk away.
Yeah, he's up Whitmore. He's certainly down for a couple of minutes there, and he definitely needed treatment. He'll have to go off, and we'll have to go through a few protocols. The second of the commentary games, by the way, with the rugby at 5:30, is Hartpury University's trip to Whitstable Town in the FA Vase semi-final.
Hartpury looking to do what Forest Green did in 1982, both win the Hellenic League Premier Division and the FA Vase.
A trip to Wembley awaits not the winner to that. That's the first leg. The second leg next Sunday.
Yeah.
Full commentary on BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
Yeah, Mark Halliwell and Mike Green, former Shortwood midfielder, who still turns out for Hartpury occasionally at the age of 46, would you believe?
And the manager of Hartpury's a doctor.
Yes, probably an academic doctor.
Yeah, but gaffer doctor. Forest Green's gaffer Steve Cottrell, hands in pockets.
Has he not got an honorary doctorship?
I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. As Bunker heads the ball towards Oster Davey, games back underway. Whitmore ready to come on. And Forest Green, rightly or wrongly, probably want to attack whilst Solihull are down to 10. The fourth official's not allowing to come on just yet, and Long plays the ball looking for Oster Davey, well intercepted and cleared by Solihull, and they're back up to the 11 are Solihull's. Whitmore comes on, and Fleming looks to find Robson on the left hand side, is making a great run, might be overhit, is overhit, and goes off for a goal kick, to the applause of the Forest Green fans and the Solihull manager Matt Taylor, happy that Forest Green resorted to that aerial ball. It went straight off. Steve
Cottrell has an honorary fellowship from the University of Gloucestershire, so he's close to being a doctor. I'm not quite sure what a fellowship gets you. If it's an honorary doctorship, obviously that's, you then call yourself doctor, don't you? But yeah, anyway, he has been honoured by his local university.
Rightly so, as he watches Oliver Wright, the Solihull keeper, play the ball up into the Forest Green half. Bunker finds Oster Davey. There's a little shove on the back from Wells Morrison, a legal one, as Innes looks to head the ball away. Harris clears it. It goes further up than it does up the pitch, further in terms of distance. But Forest Green do get the ball from Robson, who's looking to control the bouncing ball and wins himself a free kick. There's not too much action in this first half. We had that period about 3 minutes when Forest Green were dominating things, the Long going in the middle and trying to get the shot away, and that great clearance from Hall Johnson off the line from Ryan Innes, who's on the ball now and finds Doige, who's had to go quite deep and can't win the ball. Solihull have the ball back on their halfway line. Bunker looking to win the ball back off Dooku, but he did so illegally and puts away a free kick. Puts hands up to apologises rather politely of Harvey Bunker.
I think as much as anything is to his teammates, because he was in a foot race effectively with Doku there, and somehow managed to be finishing second on it. I suppose it's midfielder against striker, isn't it? So you might expect Manny Doku, former Cheltenham Town man, of course, to just get the better of Harvey Bunker in that situation. But also one of those, technically it's a tackle from behind, so he's apologised to the referee, trying to stay in the ref's good books. Purely accidental.
Clark with the free kick in his own half, plays it down the middle. Ryan Innes can't win that one there, but Bunker does well to mop up. Deutsch heads the ball into the middle. He's looking to find Garrick, who just wasn't where he wanted him, and Solihull will get the ball back as also David charges down right. And Bunker again is impressive on the halfway line, wins the header, and Innes brings the ball down to McAllister. Falls back into his own half, 2 men on him, and does well to pass the ball away for to Bunker. Great work from Carl McAllister. Bunker plays the ball back to McAllister. Deutsch making a run to the middle. He finds Independent, taken down outside the area. James Clark's going to get a yellow for that. Nothing more, I think, because he knew what he was doing there. Leave him a training leg. A few fans want it to be a different colour, but yellow's a fair shout.
Yeah, it was somewhat cynical. Christian Deutsch was in, make sure it's outside the penalty area, and referee James Durkin now just taking the name of James Clark.
It gets the yellow.
Shows the yellow, yeah.
It wasn't an obvious goal scoring opportunity from Deutsch. He was going to fit down the right hand side, but it has equalled a good opportunity for a free kick. McCann territory he was playing today, but he's injured.
Still McAllister territory though, isn't it? Perfect for the left-footed in-swinger. Just put it into the, well, in cricket you call it a corridor of uncertainty, wouldn't you? Somewhere between crossing area and back post.
3-man wall for Solihull. Long, May and McAllister over it. It's a foot and a bit from the top of the penalty area to the keeper's left-hand side. We've got a good angle from where we're sat here at the main stand. The keeper's just swapping the positioning of the wall, wanting a different player on the far side. Only a 3-man wall, which I'm surprised with. I think he is going to have a shot here, is we think Carl McAllister, who's taking a few steps back now. They might take it short, they don't, but McAllister plays the ball in, takes a ricochet. Long tried to draw the wall away, but the Forest Green couldn't use the open wall. But Long gets the ball back on the right to McAllister. So all the players in the penalty area, searching ball towards the far post. Well cut by Fleming, again cleared off the line from Clark. There for Solihull, gets the high fives of his teammates. And that was a good chance for Forest Green. Yeah,
Cian Harris got in round the back and effectively crossed it into the danger zone. Could have gone anywhere, and Clark was very efficient with making sure that he got it over the bar and behind for a corner. Really good unselfish play by Cian Harris, and you could just see him there waving his arms, just trying to get the crowd going, because Forest Green have got good pressure here. They just need to turn that into a goal.
Yeah, they've had periods of good pressure, haven't they? There's been a few minutes of really dominating the play, but the Solihull defence under pressure. I think we're in the middle of that now, the shortly taken corner. McAllister gets the ball to Robson, edge of the penalty area. The referee got in the way of him actually making that run. He might want a second call, and McAllister looks to rush the ball out, but in fact can't get much of a touch on it, and Solihull do clear up the line through Thorpe. There's a player down for Solihull, but he's actually off the pitch. I think the referee needs to stop play, but he does, much to the annoyance of the fans around us. I guess whether he's off the pitch or not, if he needs treatment, he needs to call the physio on.
Well, the physio can actually go the long way round, and what a surprise, Jamie Osborne is now up and able to resume. Yeah,
it's a shame that corner routine, isn't it? Because they deliberately played it to Robson, who was making a run from as the halfway line, and just the one player swept back. But the referee didn't see the run, and whilst not running into him, he had to go round the referee, so he didn't get a clear run onto the end of the ball. The game's going to restart with a drop ball. It should be uncontested Forest Green's way, I'd imagine.
But Solihull have been able to push up, and big squeeze from Solihull. Their last man back's 8 yards away from the halfway line.
Yeah, so it's a bit open, wasn't it, from those corners. And it is uncontested as Flown plays the ball back to Ted Cowan. Has been relatively quiet today. Steve Cottrell not happy with the fourth official and gets a few round of applause and laughs from the fans around us. Not sure what he said. As Doidge doesn't win the header, but again it wasn't the best clearance from Solihull. Goes up for a Forest Green throw. Long throws it to Garrick, who leaves the ball for McAllister and can't find Bunker, but May picks up the scraps again, searching ball up and under to Doidge in the penalty area, forced outside of it on the left hand side. Won himself a throw, he does literally, looks to take it quickly, he does to Garrick, and Garrick wasn't as aware of that as Doidge, and gets the ball taken off from Bunkunde, and a great shot that was from Adam May. Where'd that come from? 35 plus yards out, smashes the ball home, and Forest Green go 1-0 up in spectacular fashion.
Well, they've had opportunities from set pieces which have looked easier than that. They've come close with half chances, but that is an absolute rocket. What a moment of quality to break the deadlock. Whether it's going to take something special or not, we've seen something very, very special. Credit Christian Doidge, won the throw-in, took the quick throw-in, and even though Jordan Garrick wasn't quite reading it, the rebound was just seized upon by Adam May, and it just sat up perfectly for him on the half volley. Has just lashed it into the top corner, nothing Oliver Wright could do. 1-0 Forest Green, and you will not see a better strike than that. What a moment of quality, and you know, that is going to put smiles on people's faces around here, and rightly so.
That was jaw-dropping. I can't believe that finish from May. It was just one of those. It sat up nicely for him. The crowd wanted to shoot, he responds, and he hit it beautifully into the postage stamp part of the goal. And Wright could do absolutely nothing about it, and it was one of those, you look up, his teammates were in awe as well. Unbelievable goal from Forest Green, so they're 1-0 up.
And the nice thing is, he just ran to the north stand, arms outstretched. You could just see the pure joy. You know, that's the sort of strike that you dream about as of anyone who's ever kicked a football in their life. And suddenly now, the main stand, you know, the clapping's there, applauding the players in rhythm, and you know, you can feel the uplift that's given everyone around the place.
They're playing well at Forest Green, certainly not better than last Saturday. In particular the midfield, I think you've got like May and Bunker, who are making options. Amazingly told to shoot, he's on the halfway line, but he passes it to McAllister instead. Don't get the adrenaline get away from you. Forest Green are again on the ball. Just a goal like that can really change things, can't it? Just the confidence around. As May looks for Doidge in the middle, just gets the ball nicked off him, but Bunker looks to get the ball back, but he gets the ball taken off him by Osborne. Forward to Duku. Solihull going down the right hand side through Thorpe. Robson does well to turn on the afterburners and win the ball back. Deep in his own half, clears. And it's recycled through Cundy. And tap forward to Wells Morrison, who plays it further back to Whitmore. McAllister making his presence known as Solihull play the ball back to the keeper. McAllister's almost there, and Wright just gets there at the last minute to hoof the ball upfield. Innes and May get in the way of each other, and Innes probably fouled May as he came from behind to win that header. But it's with Osborne now. He plays the ball down the right hand side, and as well worked by Garrick to take the ball off Solihull and to Robson, and a nice round of applause for Forest Green's defensive work. And they are playing well, Forest Green. Goal up's probably a fair scoreline, because
I think it's what they deserve. You know, there's been the miracle clearance off the line which denied Innes, and they've had plenty of pressure as well.
As Forest Green think they've got a throw, but this is the referee flags it away. I think optimistically asked for a throw.
Half-hour mark the goal came on.
As Wright taps the ball forward. Yeah. A dominant first half display for Forest Green. Still got a good 11 minutes or so of normal time here in the first half. News Radio Gloucestershire. As Clark searched on the left-hand side, but it was over-hit and goes straight for throw-in in front of the manager, Matt Taylor.
Had a message from Heather as well, informing me that that's Adam May's second league goal for Forest Green and his third in all competitions for the club.
So, he scored a good goal against Braintree in the trophy.
Doesn't do tap-ins then?
No, but not as good as that goal today, I tell you. As Forest Green with Robson, let's play the ball through to Innes, to May, the goal scorer. And Innes with a ball forward to McAllister, had to work hard to try and get a touch onto it, and May is found, it's congested, and a few groans there because Dodo gets the ball back for Solihull, and Solihull retain possession through Clark on the left hand side. Go back to the keeper of right, who takes a touch whilst Davey charging him down.
Yeah, it was on his right foot as well, which is where he didn't want it, being left-footed.
Good work from Forest Green, turning the press on, and they've sort of given away a throw. Forest Green take quickly to Garrick. He goes past one touch into the area, thinks about shooting, wants but looks to create a bunker instead. A bit unselfish there from Garrick when Bunker's making a good run, but Garrick had every right to probably have a shot. He got himself in a decent position. At the other end of the pitch, here comes Thorpe down the right hand side, ball into the area, and it's clears off for corner. There's a few oohs around us because that looked like it's going to go right into the back of the net. Went off for Solihull's first corner of the game, and that was a high mouse moment.
Yeah, it was. It probably, from the angle we're sitting, looked worse or closer than it actually was. Ryan Innes looked very cool playing that. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt with that one, shall we? He's put it behind for a corner. There were a couple of players in behind him, so yeah, decent defending by Ryan Innes. But Solihull there's a bit of a warning for Forest Green. Turn defence into attack very quickly.
Sort of take the corner short. Back to the corner taker, played into the 6-yard box, and the defensive header to one well there by Harries. Off what a Solihull throw. The wind is picking up. I think it's in Forest Green's favour. Yeah,
it's been broadly, I think, in Rovers' favour, but it's also diagonally across the pitch, so it's coming in towards us as well. Basically, it's coming from the changing room corner. For those of you who know the new lawn, and you've been here in the past, you'll know it's always cold.
Right, looking to play the ball into the Forest Green half. A free header from Robson. Head tennis going on as the ball's been brought down by Tipton. The ball played out for a Forest Green throw. So they haven't really created too many chances, but it was that best chance actually. The head of the ball's played into the box, and Innes and Can, once they got into miscommunication, I think Innes just went dominant and just thought safety first, get a touch onto it.
Yeah, and it's one of those that he's got a better chance of putting it where he wants it on his right foot than if he takes a big swing off his left foot and tries to clear it. Those are the ones that can fly into top corners, and so yeah, defenders will go safety first in that sort of situation.
Right, it's all played to him, being charged down by Garrett. They're putting the pressure on our Forest Green, on the Solihull keeper. Osadebe turns, finds Bunker. Garrett's making a run in the middle, plays first time to Garrett in the penalty area now, plays the ball across goal to McAllister, takes a touch, second one goes towards goal, nips off in for Forest Green corner, and that was a good chance for Forest Green, and McAllister confident at the first touch and good defending to take the ball off in the last second.
Yeah, really good threaded ball by Harvey Bunker, slider all pass, found Jordan Garrick, and unselfish by Garrick.
May
again
gets the corner taken short, playing the 6-yard box, heroically headed off for a throw this time. As May's looking to take this throw. No long throw option on the pitch at the moment. Tozer on the bench, as is Knowles. The Longs takes it short to McAllister. And gets a shove in the back. Referee or assistant gives nothing, and Long looks to get the ball back for Forest Green. It's cleared by Wright. Innes brings the ball down. Good first touch there from Ryan Innes, and takes the passer's man well. Finds Bunker to the unmarked Long into the penalty area. McAllister's behind him, cuts the ball inside, goes to his left foot to Garrett. Also Davies' shot is under hit into the hands of Oliver Wright, the Solihull keeper.
Yeah, more good play by Sean Long in attacking areas. Knew where he was, knew a defender was coming. First touch, beat the man brilliantly, and knew he was in a really dangerous area. Elsewhere, half-time in the FA Cup quarter-final at Craven Cottage. Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 2. Ismaila Sarr with Palace's second after Eberici Eze opened the scoring.
Dodo finds Clark, back to Wells Morrison. Also Davey putting the pressure on, and it's not the best ball forward as Robson plays the ball back to Can, who confidently whacks it up the field. Looking for Doidge, who gives away a free kick. There's nothing on there against Cundy. Doidge with a smile on his face. And Solihull take it short, playing amongst the defence. They're enjoyable to watch today, I'd say, Forest Green in this first half. They've just had these periods of just playing really good attacking football. As Wells Morrison.
There's been a zip about them, hasn't there? I mean, you've got the big players in the middle of the park who can compete, but they can also play as well. And, you know, Sean Long's been a revelation today, I think, attacking as well. And, you know, Christian Doidge has been bright as well. He's seen things early. Jordan Garrett's been very unselfish as Christian Doidge is wrestled, I think is the best way to describe it, by Robbie Cundy to the floor on the centre spot. Free kick Rovers, easiest decision referee Durkin will have to make all day.
Koch having a word at the fourth official, not sure what for. I think maybe he wanted a card from that. May's taking his free kick a couple of inches inside the Forest Green half. Caused him to shoot.
Well, how many more times? And also Jamie Osborne, the Solihull midfielder, was basically just standing on the ball, prevented the quick free kick being taken.
Forest Green take this free kick quickly. A bit of miscommunication as May plays the ball to Harris on the left hand side. And Innes up there, brings the ball down well. Innes is playing some good football in terms of actually his touches today, as Robson didn't then and gave all the way the ball as Solihull comes storming forward, played the ball into the box, and a save there from Forest Green. Then ricochets off the post, and Forest Green to get a touch away, and that's just what Long does. And there's a bit of carnage there for Forest Green. Can got a save away, but it's ricocheted well as McAllister goes for a long range shot. Doesn't go in the goal, it doesn't, and it goes a couple of feet over. There was calls from May shoot from the halfway line a second ago. McAllister did just that, went for the lob, but if it was on target, it would have been 2-0 Forest Green. Yeah, Oliver Wright was well off his line. Carl McAllister saw him, was very close to Proud like that, Christian Doidge like that, and Rovers showing how quickly they can turn defence into attack. Ted Can's first save for Forest Green, got enough on it, got it onto the post, and you know, Rovers were a little bit stretched there at the back. The winger had the run on Jamie Robson, who couldn't keep up with him. They got a good quality ball in, and Can did enough. As pulls the handball, not given one the referee, and Solihull looks to bring the ball down as Dunn gets the ball back cleanly. Let's to go forward to McAllister, to Osadebe. And he supported Osadebe, so looking to go past his man, plays the ball into Long in the penalty. A heavy first touch, can he recover with his second? He can't. Well marshalled out for a goal kick. Again, Forest Green playing well, in particular Sean Long. His attacking abilities, I think, have impressed today. Yeah, I mean, I've seen Sean Long do that many times for Cheltenham as well before he came to Forest Green. And yeah, Gary Johnson, I think, signed him as a wing-back initially, and you know, he was part of that League Two title-winning team that Cheltenham had with Chris Assie on the left-hand side. And yeah, it's there's always been an attacking fullback in there from Sean Long. I just don't think Rovers fans necessarily got to see enough of that earlier on in the season or appreciated it. Another goal kick goes straight off from Oliver Wright, the Solihull keeper, for a Forest Green throw. Yeah, I think you're right about on the Solihull right. Thorpe has got the better of Robson in terms of pace. Well, Robson was from a turning start, and Thorpe was already flying, so you know it was just standing start that caught Jamie Robson out there, I think, as much as anything. Yeah, Ted Can did what he needed to do. Didn't need to keep the ball away from the back of the net. But there's another nervy moment. Solihull through Whitmore, clear. Long allows the ball to bounce. Ushers it out for a throw-in his own half. Approaching half-time, about a minute or so to go. So the fourth official will bring his board up. We're guessing because the clock's not worked all first half, and we've come to rely on that here, so we didn't set any stopwatches either. Well, one back to McAllister, who's offside, and that was a close call. There's a bit of a dog's leg then when also David tucked the ball to McAllister. I think Cundy might have just been keeping him on, but the assistant referee flag nevertheless.
Yeah, McAllister was certainly clear on this side, but it's whether someone in the middle was playing him on. The fans behind the assistant referee, who were in line as well, it's a little bit to our right, were not happy with that decision.
Yeah, I think you're right. There was a player in who was this side of the pitch, McAllister on the Forest Green right, keeping him on. Looking offside, sorry, but there was a player in the middle. I'm sure Cundy had that dog leg. There's a bit of afters on the halfway line. Osadebe squaring up with a Solihull player on the far side. In front of the Solihull fans, it's all getting a bit touchy there. Innes getting involved, and it's really is some aggregated players on the pitch. I didn't see what actually started that.
And, well, the strange thing was, the referee had given the free kick and was right in the middle of it as well, where Jordan Garrick and Manny Osadebe were protesting their innocence. And then more Solihull players came in. The referee's shown a yellow card.
Osadebe got the yellow card. Yeah. That's what was remonstrated. And the referee's not put his yellow card away. I think that there's going to be one given to the Solihull player. I'm not sure which one it is. He brandished it. I think it was for Whitmore. It wasn't the best referee to indicate who got the yellow card. It was brandished towards either Whitmore or Dodu.
Well, I'm wondering if that actually got shown to Ryan Innes, because Ryan Innes was also, as you say, it wasn't clear whether the referee was indicating the yellow card was being signalled to. Ryan Innes not happy, having a word. He did go in secondarily as well after things escalated and Solihull players piled in. Ryan Innes also was there as well to stick up for his teammates, as you would expect.
Some of the fans, it's not very good language behind us, as the referee's assistant indicates 13 minutes of time added on. A shot blocked down for Forest Green through a corner. I think it was 3, but he's got a 1 and a 3 up then to do
a
fourth
red
official.
1 and a green 3.
So I don't think it's 13 minutes. As well blocked there by Forest Green. There was a good attack there from Solihull, and it has their corner on their left-hand side. Forest Green finishing the half as it stands 1-0 up. Can Solihull draw level from this corner? Forest Green every man back. Played in towards the far post. Well won there by Ryan Innes. A powerful header upfield.
Well, that's 2 bounces and it's crossed halfway. That tells you how much power was in that header from Ryan Innes.
And Innes allows the ball to go over the top of him as it's cleared from right, the Solihull keeper, to Ted Can, his counterpart over under the pitch. And down the ball, just getting a feel for it as Can, and he's got big distribution then, looking for Doyle. It's overhit and it goes off for a goal kick at the other end. It's like rugby, they're just kicking from end to end, the two keepers. And it's going to be a goal kick to Oliver Wright. Yeah, sorry, the language behind us earlier from the fans wasn't the best, and apologies if you did hear any unsavoury language. A bit frustrated with the referee, but there's no defence for it. And it's a goal kick now for Oliver Wright, who plays it long, and Bonker looks to win the header, and he misses out on that 50-50, and Innes clears, because Can was thinking about going up to it, but Innes hoofed it up the line. Guy looking to find Doige, a bit congested at the moment in the midfield. Whitmore plays the ball forward, and Forest Green don't get a touch on it. It's played over the top, and a last-ditch challenge there from Harris has taken the ball away from Solihull as Long half clears, and Osadebe gives away a free kick. I think Wells Morrison might be on the way down, tumbling over anyway.
Yeah, Osadebe just tried to sort of hook a long leg around Wells Morrison, and as you said, Wells Morrison's momentum was in a downward direction anyway, and Osadebe didn't get anywhere near the ball. Wells Morrison did protect that pretty well.
Solihull finishing the half on top. Free kick 40 yards out, played towards the penalty area, headed won by May, going wide for a throw, thought to take.
Important for Forest Green to get through to half time at the moment. Solihull have had a couple of threatening opportunities to put balls into the box, and there'll be another one.
They took too long to take that throw in. Osborne was going to take the third instead. The referee shrugged his shoulders and blew for the half-time whistle. What do you want me to do? You took too long, and we've had the 3 minutes of added time, and go and get your half-time oranges. But the Solihull players aren't happy with that. The referee's pointing at them saying, go into the changing rooms the half-time whistle's blown. I don't think there's going to be any cards brandished then, but the frustration there from Solihull, but they took too long and the half-time whistle was blown.
Well, you don't see that, do you? You don't see the ball off the field and then the half-time whistle blown. But it was Solihull's own time they were wasting if they were wanting to keep that momentum up at the end of the first half. And I was saying it was important for Forest Green to get through to half-time with that lead, and Solihull have helped them do it in the end.
Absolutely, yeah, because Solihull were finishing the half on top, I think, actually. They could have had a chance to try and draw level, but it's been a good half here for Forest Green. They're 1-0 up thanks to that absolutely great goal from May on the half-an-hour mark. And they've had chances as well, haven't they? McAllister doesn't know how to get a shot away. The ball cleared off the line from Ryan Innes, but let's not forget Solihull as well. They forced a save from Ted Can, who got a save onto it. It ricocheted off the bar and forcing the ball to mop up after that, and they charged down an effort in the penalty area. But Paul, 1-0 at half-time is probably fair for Forest Green.
Yeah, I think that's what Rovers deserve. They took a long time to find that breakthrough, but what a breakthrough it was. It took something special to break Solihull down, and Adam May, it was just the very definition of the word screamer, wasn't it? It was just such a sweet strike into the corner, one of those where you see the net bulge as well. The keeper saw it, but could only wave at it in mid-air as it flew past him. Just really sweetly struck, no need to bend it around the keeper, just maybe a little bit of height and dip has got it over the keeper's dive as well. But it's one of those in the top corner, and no keeper in the world is going to stop that. Really, really good strike. Credit as well, as I said at the time, to Christian Deutsch for the quick thinking, the throw-in which was meant for Garrick. Solihull cleared it, and then May just seized upon that ball. Ryan Innes has had one cleared off the line as well. Solihull still threatening, Forest Green still with work to do to secure the 3 points, but they're where they'd want to be, and importantly they got the first goal in this game, and they can dictate how this game goes from now on in the second half.
And I think finally, Paul, it was a quite... and with Forest Green playing going forward, it was entertaining as well. I think that's what some of the fans have wanted this season. They're just looking quite exciting. They've been pressing quite high at times as well. And there wasn't too many chances. When Forest Green were playing forward, it was actually quite enjoyable to watch. Yeah,
there's been really good touches as well from players like Christian Deutsch, Harvey Bunker as well. Ryan Innes has showed us a couple of party pieces. He's not trying to be flashy. It's just he's been in opportunities. He's been in situations. There was one point where Kean Harris found Ryan Innes and they were both out on the left wing. That showed the flexibility in the Forest Green system, but also the way in which, when the time is right, they're all professional footballers, they can all play, and why not show your skill? If you've got an opportunity to beat a man and you can do it, then happy days, absolutely go for it. And that's what Forest Green have done. So the crowd have lapped that up. The crowd have been very supportive, certainly on this side, in the East Stand side, and there's been warm applause, and that's got louder as well when they've had more to cheer about as well. They really responded well to Adam May's goal. They've responded to Steve Cottrell just having a cheeky word with the fourth official, and you do get the sense that certainly the fans in the stand we're in are very much behind the manager and the players, which is important.
Smiles all around here at the New Lawn. At the moment, still another 45 minutes of football to be played, but half-time here is Forest Green Rovers 1, Solihull Moors 0.
Thank you very much, fellas. Billy Hunt with Paul Furley alongside your commentary team here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire for your first commentary match of the afternoon. The first of 3 commentary matches later on at 3 o'clock. We're off to the FA Vars semi-final first leg, a 2-legged affair with Hartpury University having the advantage of the home leg next weekend on Sunday afternoon. They start their away at Whitstable Town with the first leg of their semi-final, 2 games away from a possible Wembley final for Hartpury University. It's quite a story, that one, and we'll be bringing you that match live here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire from 3 o'clock. And then at 5:30, it's the big one. It's Gloucester against Bristol in rugby's Premiership, the biggest kind of entertainers, should we say, in this year's Premiership. Free-flowing rugby. It's bound to be littered with tries. You say that's going to be 0-0 now, but everybody's predicted it's going to be littered with tries. Even the head coaches are saying there's going to be plenty of tries. One definitely to listen out for. That's later on at 5:30 kickoff here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
Steve Kitchen.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
And if you're just joining us at this point of the afternoon, then you've missed a wonder strike that puts Forest Green Rovers 1-0 up at half-time against Solihull Moors.
Garrick, who leaves the ball for McAllister and can't find Bunker, but May picks up the scraps again, searching ball up and under to Doige in the penalty area, forced outside of it on the left-hand side, won himself a throw, which he looks to take it quickly, does to Garrick, and Garrick wasn't as aware of that as Doige, and gets the ball taken off from Bunkunde, and a great shot that was from Adam May. Where'd that come from? 35 plus yards out, smashes the ball home, and Forest Green go 1-0 up in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, that's the goal that divides the sides at half-time. Forest Green Rovers 1, Solihull Moors 0. Second half commentary to come here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. During this half-time interval, actually, we'll look back on that defeat last night, how Cheltenham Town could have done with a wonder strike like that, with a disappointing performance in a 2-0 defeat at Tranmere.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
BBC Sounds gives you the best moments from your local radio station.
His arms are about to touch the wall, and he's done it! The challenge is complete.
Hear the big stories in bite-sized chunks.
Well, the diggers and the builders are already hard at work turning what was the North Place car park into 147 new houses and apartments.
And listen to series all about your county, like Secret Gloucestershire.
Skeletal remains were found by archaeologists in the grounds of Bourton-on-the-Water Primary Academy, and she's still a mystery to this day.
All you have to do is download the BBC Sounds app, log into your BBC account, and enjoy listening to all that we do, wherever you like, whenever you like.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire on BBC Sounds.
Second half of the first FA Cup tie of the weekend, and Crystal Palace are 2-0 up at Fulham and looking pretty comfortable on that 2-0 lead at the moment. Last night we had another 2-0. Unfortunately, though, it went the way of the opposition. Tranmere 2, Cheltenham Town 0.
Here is the corner down the Tranmere Rovers left. In it comes. Day comes, doesn't get that. He doesn't get that. And Tranmere have scored with a goal at the near post. I think it's Christian Dennis who's got it. Joe Day comes for the ball. He doesn't get there. Dennis beats him at the near post, and it's Tranmere 1, Cheltenham 0.
Yeah, that was the first goal, and then it got worse throughout the second half until they eventually got their rewards.
Oh, he's given the ball away. Cameron Norman has beaten him. Norman with a chance to finish it, and he does. Cameron Norman dispossesses Jordan Thomas and fires the ball into the bottom right-hand corner. And that prompts a mass exodus of the Cheltenham Town fans. They've had a miserable journey up, they've had a miserable evening, but it's a fair reflection of the game. It's Tranmere 2, Cheltenham 0.
And afterwards, the Robins boss, Michael Flynn, spoke to our commentary team with Mark Halliwell asking the questions.
Michael, what's your reaction to what you've just seen?
We wasn't good enough tonight. They out-battled us. They're in a good run of form. They used the ball better than us. We've conceded another set play, but I'm not going to come out here tonight. I'm not going to kick my players when they're down. They're hurting in there. They've lost a bit of form, so this is when they need me to stick up for them and to back them, and that's what I'm going to do, because they're trying. We're just falling short on a bit of quality at the minute.
But it must be a disappointment that you're having to come out and say things like that rather too often recently.
Yeah. Since the second half of last half an hour of the Swindon game, where they actually stood up and stuck in. The games after that, they haven't been good enough.
What's missing?
I think there's quite a few things missing. Quality on the ball, defensive set plays have not been good, decision making. And I would say that energy where we've been going to press. Tranmere did tonight what we've been doing to teams, and they did it well. Fair play to them.
How do you change that?
We've got to stick together. I can't change players, can I? We've got what we got. I'm trying all sorts. We've just got to regroup, stick together, and try and finish the season strongly.
Is it maybe a case, you've got a lot of young players in your team, is it a case that maybe the season's catching up with some of them because they're young and they haven't played a lot of league football, and could that be a case that they're just almost running out of energy as the season comes to an end?
100%. Could be that. But they've got to get used to say 55 game season, because that's what it is. And from League 2 and Championship, they've got to get used to those the amount of games. We play at a high pressing, high energy, and we've fallen a bit short of that in the last few games.
I think it's 6 out of the 9 last away games where you haven't scored a goal, and before Christmas you scored in every single one. What sort of changed away from home? Because before Christmas you were... nothing's
changed, because look, you're throwing that out, but we scored 3 at Swindon and two at Wimbledon, which were the last 2 away games. So nothing's changed. We're not setting up negatively or changing what we're doing. It's just they're not, they haven't been producing to the levels that they were producing at, and it's quite obvious to see.
So what was your sort of message to them? You just in the dressing room there. What was your message to them after the game? Was it were you frustrated with them, or were you trying to just, like you said, stick with them and help them?
Well, of course I'm frustrated, but we stick together. We stick together, like you said. There's a young group in there. They don't talk much. Some of them in their first full seasons, and I'm relying on some of them to be our star men. And they need to be nurtured, and they need to be helped in this situation, not come down on them like a ton of bricks. And like I said, I've changed a lot, because believe me, in the past I would have come down on them, but it's not always the best way. They're a good group, they care, but we've fallen short last few games.
Is this sort of where you need your experienced players to step up, and are they stepping up enough?
I think Timothy Diang covered every blade of grass tonight. He was the only one Saturday to do over 10k of total distance, the way he was getting around, so he's giving it all. Sam Stubbs is getting battling away. Obviously Bradbury is back today. Kins is giving his all. I don't think it's an experienced and young thing. It's us as a team that we didn't really look like scoring. So it was funny enough, we'd done all right until we missed the best, I would say, the best chance of the game. And then after that, we kind of went into a shell, and they won more battles than us. They done the basics today much better than we did, and they deserved the 3 points.
I mean, the Dieng chance, if it goes in, as we know, goals change games. That you never know how that's going to affect them.
No, exactly, and you don't know. And unfortunately, we missed a very good chance. And then from there on, I don't think we looked like creating another opportunity.
No, they were similar in a way to possibly to Harrogate. They were very in your face, weren't they? They were pressing high, in your face all the time, not giving you any time at all.
Yep, and they did it very well, and you can see that's why they're picking up points now. They've gone, I'm going to say, back to basics. Last 15-20 minutes they played a little bit more, and they played some good football, so they had their confidence, their tails are up, and we were very naive.
Morecambe on Tuesday is going to be the same, isn't it?
Well, it won't, because the pitch is awful, so that's just going to be a full out battle, and they're fighting for their lives, so they've got to stand up, we've got to stand up and be counted for.
And finally, for me, a word from the supporters. Long trip, horrible trip. You had a 5-hour trip up here. They've had a horrible trip. What do you say to them?
Just say, look, just stick with us. We'll keep going. It's never nice coming this distance and watching your team, lose first of all. But getting out battled it's not what we want, and it's not what the players have done for the majority of the season. But we've got to finish strongly now, and. By with that I mean performance-wise as well.
And Morecambe against Cheltenham Town will be live here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. That game, of course, on Tuesday night here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. You'll be able to hear that one on DAB. Here on all our frequencies this afternoon, we're at half-time, where Forest Green Rovers lead Solihull Moors by 1-0. Let's rejoin your commentary team at the New Lawn, Paul Furley and Billy Hunt.
Thank you very much, Steve. The referees came from a bit of a hurry up to Forest Green coming out of the changing rooms. Still no sign of Steve Cottrell. He's going to be the last man out, and he gives the thumbs up to the south stand, and he's going to take a while walking across the pitch as well. So the players are ready, but at Forest Green the change rooms are right in the corner, and the managerial team are going to walk across it to go to their dugouts. Good first half of Forest Green, leading by a goal to 0. No changes at half-time, so that 11-4 Forest Green. This is Ted Can in goal, the new Loney's goalkeeper from West Brom. Did what he had to do in the first half, giving the ball on the back of the net, and one good save. I think he's been quite confident as well, and shouting at his defenders in front of him. The back four, Robson on the left, the two centre-backs, Harris and Innes, and Long is impressed on as the right-back role. In the midfield, May and Bunker, with Ossett Davey in that number 10 role, behind the strike trio of Doige in the middle, and Garrick and McAllister either side of him. We'll go through the lineup for Solihull shortly as we start our watches for the second half. And Ossett Davey wins the header, but so head tennis gone either side of the halfway line, and Bunker returns the header and he just can't bring the ball down, and Osborne comes away with it
and gives it straight to McAllister.
Yeah, it's been the most fluent of first halves here, as Forest can clear up the line into the path of Oliver Wright, the keeper for Solihull. So that's Solihull lineup right in goal. The back four, Paul Johnson, Cundy, Whitmore and Clark, and well charged down on Forest Green. It's going to be a Solihull throw. Wells Morris in the midfield, Thorpe, Tipton, Osborne, Doda there, and Dooku up top, who's wanting the ball now. But the throw-in has been pushed back by the fourth official, as Harris clears up the line.
Interestingly there, Manny Doku up front for Solihull, very frustrated with Elliot Thorpe.
McAllister storms on forward, sorry to interrupt Paul, but Doyce making a run in the middle. Has also Davey with a shot, taking a few ricochets and goes away from goal. A well-placed shot from Forest Green. Davey. Harris gives away a free kick, coming from behind. And this first half ended a bit aggressively from both teams, and no love lost here as we start the second. Oh, the scoreboard's working as well.
And so's the clock, which is really important for us. Again, forgot to start the stopwatch.
I didn't.
Well done, you're the pro.
As White clears up the line and Long heads forward. Also, there's a little shove in the back as Doige comes back from an offside position, so doesn't challenge for it. We'll go through the benches of both teams shortly. Thorpe looking to go past Robson, but Garrick picks up the loose ball, taps to Bunker, who weighs up his options, plays it back to May, the goal scorer for Forest Green, and gets the ball back from Garrick. On the bench for Solihull, Flavin, Ockley, Stevenson, Bostock, Tunnicliffe, Holman and Holmes. And for Forest Green, as Ossett Davey, let's turn past his man and goes touch to McAllister, back to Ossett Davey, forced back into his own half and back to Innes. On the bench of Forest Green, Tozer, Knowles, Jenks, Quigley, Cardwell, McCormick and Fleming. So there certainly are options there for Forest Green. Innes just stands on the ball, draws in a player, finds McAllister, is forced back into his own half, and finds Innes again, a bit static now in front of him, wants options. Garrick creates one again in the midfield. Interesting that Garrick and McAllister both came quite central to retrieve that ball. Bunker.
Yeah, I think they'll do that. It allows the fullbacks to push on as wingers, and basically just, if defenders follow with that switch, then when the fullbacks go in past, then maybe they can get past their winger and get in. I think that's how Sean Long got in a lot during the first half.
Goal kick to right, but slow start to the second half. There's a player down for Solihull, and it's Jamie Osborne. He's just kneeling down. He's the one who was at the head knock earlier. I think he might be having some sort of strain.
He was just down on his haunches, wasn't it? The big head stoppage was Alex Whitmore. He was the one who was in that collision with Christian Doige inside the penalty area, but
Osborne doesn't challenge the 50-50 there, and Bunker wins it. And Garrick gets shoved off the ball, but as well to stay on his feet and can't win the ball back though, and Harris gets an important touch, but given straight back to Osborne. To Thorpe on the right hand side, puts a searching ball into the area, and Harris clears. Doige committing himself back into his own half. Of course, we want the offside flag to be raised, but it stays down as Solihull turn a bit of good possession here. And let down there by Elliot Thorpe, whose touch lets him down, and Forrest going to have a throw.
Yeah, and I think also Hall Johnson's pass to him was a little bit unsympathetic. He got an apology, Thorpe did, from Hall Johnson.
May goes over the top looking for McAllister. It's going down the left-hand channel, and he's supporting the box. Doige just turned up. McAllister's the ball at his feet. Looks for it was Doige just taken off in the last second for a corner. Good stuff from Forest Green. Good link up as well. He waited for it perfectly until Christian Doige arrived, and good defending to nip the ball off him.
Yeah, really good. First off, diagonal run from Carl McAllister, break the offside trap, through on the left-hand side, and then held it up, advanced towards the penalty area, and saw the run from Christian Doige coming from back post to near. And, you know, we're talking inches away. Both McAllister and Doige flung back their heads in frustration. They know how close that was.
Resulted in a corner, though, which May takes towards the near post, and the keeper punches it down and away from goal. McAllister looks to win the ball back, gives away a foul, and the Solihull player went down, but easy. McAllister gets a yellow card for that. I don't think he knew what he was doing, but stopping any sort of potential break. But I think he'll be okay.
Didn't look to be much in that foul, did there? I mean, yes, Solihull potential to break, but Thorpe's touch took it straight into touch. So the chance of a break was actually over. I think that's a bit of a harsh yellow there from James Durkin.
Yeah, he looks okay, does Elliot Thorpe. And free kick for Solihull. 51 minutes gone. Forest Green 1, Solihull 0. Made the goal score in the first half. Ball play towards the penalty area. Bunker doesn't win the first header, but Dooku's header wasn't the best, and it's cleared by Long. And that goes off for a throw-in. It's not a nice, attractive second half here. But I guess the best chance has been from that McAllister run and finding Doige in the middle.
Yeah, some really good defending there to get it behind for a corner from that. I mean, we are talking inches away, Christian Doige, from making it 2-0.
Thorpe looking to go past Robson and runs into a bit of traffic, and Watson does well to dribble upfield and clear up the line. And Forest Green fans enjoy what they're seeing at the moment. Certainly a bit more positive than last Saturday. And Forest Green lost by 3-0. White does well to play the ball on the left-hand side, and Solihull maintain possession on the halfway line through Dodo. Paul Johnson on the right-hand side. Can he keep the ball on? He can. The best ball to him. Half goals, it got brought down by his hand. The referee said it was his chest. And Forest Green turning a bit of a press on here, but they're looking to find Thorpe on the halfway line. Forest Green get possession back, and Bunker plays the ball forward. McAllister just over here, and he's done well marshalled by Whitmore's McAllister to go to the hands of the Solihull keeper.
Yeah, I mean, he's very nearly picked a really hard pass to play there as Harvey Bunker, and it's come so close to coming off. Are you all right there? What have you lost?
I'm looking for my bottle of water, but I'll be okay. Thank you very much for asking. As Forest Green bring the ball up, Solihull bring the ball up from the back, I'll be all right. As
I can provide you with a can of water if you need refreshment during commentary. I know it's hard work.
As Solihull's playing out from the back at the moment. And not been the most entertaining second half yet. It's Forest Green have that 1-goal advantage, and they played Solihull playing the ball forward. There's a bit of space for Osborne. He crosses the halfway line. Forest Green just standing up a little bit, and it's good play down the left-hand side. Bunker can't put the challenge in. The ball played off, and the ball goes across goal, and it's well clutched by the new keeper Ted Can. Dooku just getting a touch onto it. It's a player down for Forest Green after that, and the referee stops play. I think it could be
Cian Harris, he's the favourite. All of the rest of the back four, it is Cian Harris. He's now sitting up, and I think Doku might just have caught him as he tried to play that ball back into the danger zone, and Thorpe was some way off getting something on it in the middle. Billy has found and retrieved said bottle of water. Excellent news.
It rolled down to the road in front of me, so thank you very much. The fellow press man in front of us for passing it back to me. And in 54 minutes, Forest Green 1, Solihull 0 on the early kick here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. One of 4 commentary games in the 24-hour period. Cheltenham Town losing away at Tranmere last night. Got FA Bars action at 3 o'clock as The Robson-Thorpe battle continues, and Robson wins that one, turning Thorpe well, and Robson drives on forward. It opens up for him, plays it across to Doidge at the edge of the area, thinks about shooting, plays to McAllister in the penalty area instead. McAllister back to Doidge, Doidge the shot, charged down by Solihull. Half chance to break if they can find Dooku, who's had to go a bit deep, but Forrest got a bit out of position, and in it with an important header because Clark was making a run in behind him, but still Solihull maintain possession. And Doidge gets a shove on the back. Referee says no foul as Cundy takes him down, and they go over the top looking to lob Can, but it goes off for a goal kick.
And actually Ted Can, very good positioning, was underneath his crossbar, didn't need to jump, didn't need to raise his hands, and was just able to see that go over the bar. Looked like he might have been off his line, but actually made his ground up very, very quickly. Very coolly dealt with and seen off any danger with that effort.
Doidge gets pushed to the floor, referee gives nothing, Steve Cox not happy with it, and Solihull have a chance here. They look to find Thorpe on the right hand side. Garrick doing some defensive duties, but gets the ball into the box. Innes clears with his head. Also David gets a shove in the back, referee gives nothing, and it goes off for a thrush. It's kept on by Solihull. They play it out for a throw instead, and it's just the hand goes up. He apologises, does Hall Johnson. And Long having a go at the referee, and so the few arms raised at him saying why have you not blown the whistle for a few of these shoves in the back.
Yeah, Christian Doidge just asking as well, why wasn't that a free kick, ref? And both of them showing sort of the hands pushing gesture, but yeah, the referee Durkin saying that wasn't a foul, and had a smile on his face while he was doing so as well, which probably doesn't help Christian Doidge's mood, but his team are winning 1-0.
Solihull keeper right plays the ball over the top of Davey, goes from one into the other, and he tried to keep the ball on and went off for a goal kick. It was just powerfully hit, and he was happy for it to do so. He just was scrambling to try and keep it in open play.
Yeah, really zipped off the surface, didn't he? He thought about going for it, and then thought, actually, no, don't get anything on it and concede a needless corner.
Gets the ball back from Harris. It looks okay after taking a bit of a knock a few minutes ago. Can looking to the right hand side to Long, who raises well. But the second ball won by Solihull, but goes straight up for throw in. Wells Morrison, the perpetrator there. Solihull fans trying to get themselves and their team going. They're on the far west terrace in the open. About 150 of them there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a long journey, is it, either? Haven't brought too many today. They're not in a good run of form. They've only won once since Matt Taylor took charge.
Well, they're currently 16th in the table, 8 points above the dotted line relegation-wise, but then only 9 points off playoffs, so shows you how relatively close it is in the middle. Bunker falls to the floor, and the referee gives nothing, saying it was a fair challenge by Osborne, who has the ball in open play now, at the edge of the area, opens up for him, goes in the box, has a shot, and it's well saved and clutched by Ted Can on his near post. And he well watched that, and he didn't, and the fact he caught it as well.
Yeah,
powerfully hit.
Very safely held, wasn't it? Ted Can.
As he's got the.
I decided not to go there, but you did.
He's pointing to Doidge and Garrett to go down the left-hand side. Doesn't play the ball just yet. Plays it powerfully into the centre of the field. Doidge just can't win the 50-50, and Solihull play the ball back into the Forest Green half. Robson looks for Davey, can't find Garrick, and again it's played forward. Another aerial battle. The challenges are really coming in here now. Dooku think he was fouled.
Well, he was. Kean Harris ran through him. The ball went over the top of the pair of them. Doku understandably went to the ground. The referee said nothing to it. He is letting a lot go here.
Innes.
Including everything accidental or semi-accidental.
Looking for Garrick. It would have been offside, but Garrick doesn't go for the ball. Bunker looks for McAllister, but again, Solly will get the ball back, and then a few challenges come flying in. There's a few yellows around as well.
Well, this is the sort of moment where, you know, somebody gets frustrated, goes over the top, and that's, you know, when lack of decisions then lead to players getting themselves sent off.
On the right-hand side, goes into the penalty area, plays the ball towards the far post. Well saved from Can, who carried it over for a goal, corner. Not sure we knew too much about that, but important to get something onto it. I'm not sure Thorpe was going for goal.
Yeah, he was in the middle of his goal, was Can, and certainly saw that there were players coming into the back post area behind him, and so made sure that he got something on it, beat it over the top of his crossbar as much as anything, and well, gets the ball further away from goal, and up to Rovers to defend this.
Osborne with the corner, played towards the near post. Robson wins the first header, might go for a throw. Robson took a bit of a batter in there, and as Garrick sees himself to win a throw instead. And Thorpe is getting a bit of chanting from the Forest Green fans. They're trying to wind him up.
Today's match attendance is
1,568 and 111 have travelled from Solihull. Yeah, so we look at the Gloucester City last night, getting 1,800 in their game at the Tiger Turf Stadium. 1,500 here today.
I think Tiverton brought us a few as well.
And there's 111 Solihull fans today as the hour mark ticks over. Forest Green still leading by a goal to nil. Robson wins himself a throw.
The cricket fan in me isn't happy with that away attendance.
The old one leg.
Yeah, just uncomfortable with the Nelson.
Robson finds Davey. Robson gets the ball back, plays the ball over the top, but neither Deutsch and McAllister get onto the end of it. But the ball's been played back towards the penalty area of Solihull. But Solihull well to come away with it. It's opened up for Wells Morrison. Storms across the halfway line, got options to the left, which is Clark who he finds. Back to Wells Morrison, and that chance that Forest Green have done well to reorganise and get back into shape. But Solihull still have possession on the left. And slowed down by Osborne, showed too much of the ball, and May comes away with it, finds Doyle, just holds on to it. Garrett's going on his left hand side, McAllister on his right, still stays with Doyle and goes to the right hand side to McAllister. The cavalry's arrived in the penalty area. McAllister can put the ball into the box, back to May with his second, and that one was a bit worse than his first shot, which scored a great goal. And that went 30 yards over the crossbar, off the goalkeeper on the other side of the valley, and ended up in Shortwood.
Yeah, which if you're playing for time and there weren't a multiple system would be ideal, but yeah, it just got underneath it. And elsewhere, FA Cup quarter-finals, just over 10 minutes to go at Craven Cottage. Fulham 0, Crystal Palace 3. Eddie Nketiah with the third goal of the game for Crystal Palace there. You would imagine pretty much through to the semi-finals.
Semi-final action for Hartley today. Commentary on that at 3 o'clock in the FA Bars semi-final first leg, as Deutsch is searched for but can't bring the ball down, and Garrett gets up on the halfway line, back to Robson, over the top from McAllister, who's made a run, who falls to the left hand side. Davies made a run in the middle. Deutsch is on the far post, tapped to Davey, back to McAllister, puts that ball in towards the 6-yard box, headed wide. Long's popped up, back to Bunker, who thinks about shooting. Long has a shot himself, it's rebounding everywhere, and May might shoot again from a long way out, but finds it to Davey in the left hand side. Back to McAllister. Long's down in the penalty area at the moment. Robson stays on side, puts the ball across goal, and it's just taken off Deutsch yet again. But Garrett looking to get onto the rebound, but it's hooped clear for a corner. Again, Deutsch just gets the ball nicked off him at the last moment, and there's players down all over the place.
It's like the end of a Shakespearean tragedy, isn't it? You know, just people head on the floor all over the stage, if the penalty area was a stage. But Sean Long's now up on his feet, as is the other one or two players, as are the other one or two players who were felled. And corner for Rovers, Christian Deutsch. I was just thinking, well, he hasn't had many clear-cut opportunities. His best opportunities have come from trying to get into the box on the end of low crosses, and Solihull's defending's been very good.
Corner for Forest Green, played towards the near post, looking forward. Deutsch ricocheting everywhere, and it's the half course a handball, but referee couldn't see anything there. And Solihull have a chance to break here. They get the ball forward to Dooku, but Robson gets back and plays the ball back to his keeper, Can, who plays the ball powerfully forward and can't find Deutsch. There's movement on the bench for Solihull.
I think John Bostock's going to be coming on, him and his beard, which is impressive.
64 minutes gone. Forest Green 1, Solihull 0. Subs warming up for Forest Green. One of them's got the knob. I think it could be Knowles. Let's wait and see if he gets his kit ready.
Yeah, off comes the bib. He's got a great big grin on his face, Tom Knowles, which he often has. Just one of those people with a very happy disposition.
And his team are winning by a goal to nil. 64 minutes gone. Forest Green just backing off a bit, starting on the ball in their own half. Suddenly Garrett does charge down the ball, and it's going to be a throw into Solihull. Knowles is going to be coming on. Maybe some who for? Maybe for Garrick. Right, in his own penalty area. McAllister half charges him down, but he plays the ball to the left-hand side. Space for Wells Morrison. And Clark crosses the halfway line for Solihull, going down the left-hand side, going for about 30 yards or so, long back tracking. Taps the ball off for a throw. Dudo plays it behind him. And Forest Green quite deep at the moment. Hull Johnson to the right hand side to Thorpe, back to Hull Johnson, and Garrett takes the ball off him. Surely that's a yellow card there for Hull Johnson, as Garrett nipped the ball off him, and he takes on the yellow card then, because Garrett did have an opportunity to break forward. Good work there from Jordan Garrett. Yeah, very good. Just got a toe in, was about to get away, and was hauled down by Reece Hull Johnson. And that's the one area where I think referee Durkin has been really consistent and hasn't allowed things to go when players have been, on the verge of getting away. Interestingly, those substitutions we called as to happening. Tom Knowles has put a bib back on, and John Bostock of Solihull has put a tracksuit top and a bib back on, so a little bit delayed. One of Garrick. Good work there, and got him a few more minutes as Robson plays the ball forward, and to no one in particular, and Solihull do well to clear. Harris plays the ball back towards the Solihull half, and McAllister's got hands all over him. Referee gives nothing, and Harris gets the ball back for Forest Green.
Yeah, and that's where the referee has been frustrating. The sort of player about to get away, fine, he blows. Player being wrestled, he doesn't blow.
Oster Davey finds Robson on the left-hand side. Back to Harris. And the pitch is playing perfectly. And Harris goes over the top to Robson. Heads the ball looking for Garrett. Can he turn and get a touch onto it? He can't, but he's and then Solihull do well through tips and get the ball back. And Harris wins himself a throw. In front of Steve Cottrell. Matt Taylor wasn't happy with that. It was pretty obvious it came from Solihull player last.
Yeah, Harris played it off Doku, and Doku didn't seem to understand that the last touch came off of him.
Innes stands on the ball. Cottrell shouted instructions. He finds Harris looking for Deutsch, heads the ball looking for Robson. Can Robson get there first? No, it's played off him by Hull Johnson, and Solihull clear. But only to Ryan Innes, who's got the freedom of his own half. Cottrell getting a bit animated now, just moving his players, shouting he wants them to go. 67 minutes gone. Innes taps the ball forward to Deutsch. Does come quite deep, wins himself a free kick. No, he doesn't. Referee gives nothing. He's got hacked down from behind as the ball's tapped back to Wright, who clears first time to May on the halfway line. Let's put his hands up to block the sun then, which might be making a rare appearance. And May gets the ball back and plays the ball to Can.
Well, Solihull just seem to have retreated a little bit at the moment, and Matt Taylor's trying to wave them forwards. Well, at the same point in time, I think Steve Cottrell's aware that sort of Solihull have retreated back into their shell a little bit, and doesn't want his players to, sort of get a little bit overconfident with this, and wants them to keep playing the way that they have been.
Thrown to Forest Green. Yeah, Solihull not pushing too much forward. Yeah, there's only 68 minutes gone. There's still a lot to go in the second half. Here comes that change. Sees Oakley coming on for Solihull. And John Bostock. See the players that are coming off for Solihull. The first being Hull Johnson. And the fourth official taking his time to signal who the second player is coming off. Eventually shows it's Osborne, so it's been impressive, but he takes his armband off. Got a bit of a knock there, I think. So change on the bench for Solihull. Nothing with Forest Green yet. Nolan's got his bib on still.
Just having a swig of water.
He's looking a bit lame, isn't he? I think Osborne, the horse's term.
Yeah, I think he knows he's been in a battle today.
And it's been an interesting few minutes, isn't it? You're right, the Forest going to have a throw on the halfway line. Just Solihull backing off a little bit.
Yeah, whether they were just waiting for those changes to come on, but you'd imagine those players would be thinking, well, you know, hopefully it's not going to be me. Yes, there'll be changes, but unless they're pre-planned, then you don't want to be the one who sees their number coming up. Interestingly as well, during that delay for the fourth official to get his computer boards right, Steve Cottrell having a bit of a word with Manny Osadebe as well, just giving him a bit more advice of what he wants.
Innes in his own half, looks for a run, sees Osadebe, just can't get the ball, and his ball's headed back to the Solihull keeper right. Who's not had many saves to make, I'd say, in the second half, but the Forest going to have chances. I think Doyce with them, you know, when he just had the ball nicked off him at the last minute at the near post. And Knowles will be coming on shortly. Next break of play. 71 minutes gone. Forest Green still leading by that May goal to 0. Solihull's having a feel for things in their own half. Thorpe creates an option and plays the ball back deeper into his own half. May does well to intercept. Doyce cuts in the middle. May goes down the left hand side. Does he run out of pitch? He does, as the assistant referee says the ball went off. And Cottrell not happy with that. Not sure the whole ball did go off. The assistant referee disagrees. And look at Cottrell's face, he cannot believe it. He's saying the whole ball, no way, with a few other words in the middle. As the throw from Solihull goes up the line. McAllister to Garrick on the left hand side. Osadebe turns, finds the ball back to McAllister. He's got a man on him as well to brush past him though. Goes down the left hand side to Garrick in the penalty area, turns past his man, plays it across goal, it's nicked off him at the last second by Cundy.
And even that couldn't find its way to Christian Deutsch. Clipped the heels of a defender who didn't know much about it, and Deutsch has been in the right positions but has been well watched by Solihull today, and that's the closest Christian Deutsch has been able to get to a chance. He's worked hard, he's created things, played a part in the goal as well with a quick throw-in, but in terms of actual chances, it's been trying to get on the end of balls into the box, which have all three been cut out first by, well, first two cases, some excellent defending by Solihull and maybe a bit of luck third time round.
Thrown to Solihull. I thought Forest Green might make those changes, but Knowles still waiting to come on. And the fourth official didn't stop play there. I think that's the Forest Green's bench is surprised by that. It goes off for a throw. They're going to make the changes now. They are. Yes, they are, as Knowles is going to be coming on.
Well, the referee's actually called that rather than the fourth official.
And it's Jordan Garrick, the player, coming on for Tom Knowles. He gets a tap on the back from his captain, sorry, his manager, Steve Cottrell. And Garrick.
Warm reception, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And Garrick with a warm reception from Steve Cottrell as well. Robson clears up the line, looking for Christian Deutsch, for the work rate he's getting to get onto that ball with the foot race against Cundy as well to get there. Knowles making a run in the middle, goes back to Robson, puts the ball in on his left hook, can't find McAllister. May gets the ball, calls him to shoot as he plays it to McAllister instead. He gets the ball nicked off him, and Solly will have a chance to play the ball forward. To do just that, but Ryan Innes gets the ball to go over the top of him.
Adam May is going to get that every time there's a ball now within 30 yards of goal, isn't he? You know, he scores one worldie, now everyone's going to be expecting that every time he hits a ball anywhere in the opposition half.
Good dummy that from Deutsch, he's trying to bunker to Knowles, edge of the box, plays a shot in, it goes off. An interesting save there from Oliver Wright. He got a touch onto it and he almost sat on the ball, didn't it? And he's pulled something for it.
Yeah, he doesn't look very comfortable. It's just whether that's his knee, whether there's a touch of cramp in there, but got his hands down low, parried it, and then, yeah, as you say, sat on the ball. Really good early snapshot from Tom Knowles. I think that's probably his first touch, isn't it? On his perhaps weaker right foot, but he's just hit it absolutely instinctively. Right is now back up and gets us underway again.
Rolls it out to the left-hand side. It's sort of with the ball back to him. Tries the right through Cundy. Forward to Oakley. He's come off the bench. Still deep in the Solihull half. And drawing in Osadebe. Bostock plays it on to the right. Solihull looking to go forward now through Thorpe, who looks to go past Robson, but Robson gets his feet in the way and gives it away a throw. Just a little shove on the back from Tipton. I think Robson was trying to get in the way of the ball, to be fair, and Simpson was going to get the ball back. Roll back to the right, the Solihull keeper. Interesting game the last 10 minutes or so, isn't it? There's not really much intensity. It's both teams just seeing the game towards the last, 10 minutes or so. It's had 75 minutes now. Forest Green 1, Solihull 0.
Well, there's still everything in the balance, isn't there? Solihull won't want to get caught on the counter-attack like Forest Green last week up at Fylde, certainly with the third. And Rovers don't want to take too many chances, being desperate to get the second. Just keep playing the way that you are and let Solihull take the risks.
They're going down the left-hand side, Solihull, overloading the left. Forest Green tracking back. McAllister doing some defensive work. Ball's played in towards the box. Innes gets a touch away from goal. There's only one Solihull player there, and that's Thorpe in the area. Second goes into there. They look to find Thorpe, and then Robson takes the ball off him and goes off for a throw. Knowles with a big shove on the back, and surely there should be something. The referee just gives a throw in Solihull's way. He certainly is letting the play go today as the referee.
He is, and Tom Knowles was running at full pelt. He does not go down there without contact from the opponent. How is that not a foul?
It's been the same for both teams, to be fair.
It's just been bewildering. It's been a very high bar on some challenges.
Thorpe on the right hand side cuts inside, falls to the floor, and the referee gives a free kick for that, and that was nothing compared to the one earlier on Knowles. I
refer you to my previous comment. There has been a very high bar on some challenges.
But that was a minute shove in the... It was a shove in the back.
Well, I think actually Jamie Robson just clipped the heels of Thorpe. But Solihull never lost possession. That's the bizarre thing about it.
Good free kick playing to the left-hand side cross field and finds unmarked Clark. Opens up for him, takes a shot, and it comes off of the bunker. And there's some dives going in, but Osadebe gets a touch away, looking to find Doige, still in his own half, and looks to win himself a throw. Doige, and does just that. No, the throw goes the other way.
Really good block though by Adam May. Just threw himself at the ball and closed down any room and any light for Solihull, who are about to make another two changes.
Oakley on the right and goes past Knowles. Plays the ball back to Cundy.
Cardwell also getting stripped for Forest Green.
Yeah, it could be the end of Christian Doige. I think has worked well today. Going down the right are Solihull. As it overhit, it is, goes off for a goal kick. Double change for Solihull. Oncoming Jordan Tunnicliffe and Fletcher Holman. Off comes Cundy and Tipton. Here comes Cardwell. You'd imagine for Doige, who's got the nod already, he's walking off the pitch. And the fourth official still hasn't even got his board ready. The referee says don't make the subs just yet, we've got one more play. Christian Doige can carry on.
Well, I think Doige has just sprinted down the left-hand side at full pelt and has actually won a sprint down there. So, Doige's energy levels are still good. But it's about protecting players as well, isn't it?
Made as well to win the right for Forest Green. Touch to the left-hand side of Knowles. Knowles on the left. As Looking to find Deutsch in the middle, dummies it, but there was no one player behind him, and Solihull easily come away with it. There's a bit of space as well for Solihull. Forest Green just a bit disjointed at the moment. They're going down the left-hand side. Are Solihull. It's a good cross-field ball, and Long's got to do some defensive duties as Solihull looks to put the ball across goal. Bunker gets an important challenge there to get such a way. A shot comes in and it has a save there from Khan. Innes shields the ball because it didn't save it too cleanly. Khan did well to recover and get it second time round.
Yeah, got both hands on the first shot, couldn't hold it, but was alert, got the second ball. We carry on. Just over 10 minutes of the 90 to go. Elsewhere, FA Cup. First team through to the semi-finals. No surprise, because they were winning 3-0 and they have won 3-0. Crystal Palace 3-0 victors today at Fulham.
So, Holman doesn't come on yet, so Tunnicliffe has, Holman hasn't. Knowles does well to bring the ball down against Oakley. Goes forward, it's up a free kick. They want it cheers from the Forest Green faithful.
20 seconds later.
And is there going to be changes on the bench? The fourth official doesn't seem to be the master of his board.
Well, he's putting the numbers in, but whether Solihull will be keen to make the change while they're defending a set piece, that's why they always say you don't make a change as a substitution, isn't it? Much better when it's your ball, which Forest Green probably wouldn't mind getting Harry Cardwell on at this point.
There, Steve Cottrell pointing to his players. They're going to allow this free kick to be taken. McAllister and May over the ball. I think they're saying that there's the Solihull players aren't 10 yards back. Knowles pushes them 10 yards back. Referee says carry on.
Well, it's their own time they're wasting. This has taken about a minute to line this free kick up.
May takes it and looking to find Innes, who doesn't get a touch onto it. Long with the second ball, heads the ball back to Harries. Puts a searching ball into the penalty area, headed clear from Solihull, but Bunker gets the second ball edge of the box. Tap to Long. Deutsch wants it played quickly, gets back to Bunker, plays the ball looking for Knowles, and it's a good parry away from Wright. Calls a shoot for May, he should do, and he does just that, and it goes wide of the goal. Another save tapped wide from Wright for a Forest Green corner.
Yeah, a little bit of a deflection on the shot from May, forced Wright into the diving save, and he's just parried it behind the post for a corner.
I know there's a bit of jest when they told May to shoot, but he sometimes should actually still shoot from outside the box because they're in a decent shooting position. Of course, scored in that worldie in the first half from a long way out. Holman eventually is coming on.
For Elliot Thorpe, who's
gets the booze
around us.
And Christian Deutsch comes off for Harry Cardwell. Who gets a standing ovation here. They know the work rate is continuing to go. It gives the high five to Cardwell. Good work from Christian Deutsch today, as ever. Cardwell comes on for this corner. We're in the back end of this game, definitely. 82 minutes gone. Forest Green Rovers 1, Solihull 0. McAllister with the corner. Plays it towards the near post. Bunker with a header, but it's second cleared by Solihull. And they hoof it upfield. All the way from one end to the other. Can should get there first. He does. It's not the best clearance though. It goes quite a long way vertical up. And Harris looks to bring the ball down. Knowles is there to clear. He gets taken down late. Referee said nothing there as Holman takes him down. I think Knowles knew it was coming. Did he either jumped over the challenge or went down a bit easily?
Well, he had to take evasive action because Holman had gone sliding in, and I think the referees just said, well, he didn't make contact, but then Holman does go and win a free kick very easily off of Jamie Robson, where I'm not sure there was that much contact there. It was just momentum and the players going over. Tom Knowles says, what about Holman has gone with his studs up towards me? And
a free kick though to Solihull. 7 minutes of time to go. Forest Green my goal to nil. Both stock over it. One man wall of Knowles, about 40 yards away from goal. We'll tap it into the penalty area. It does just that. Innes wins an important defensive header. Dodo gets the ball back though, plays another ball into the area, tries to though, chased down by Harry Cardwell. Take the throw in quickly, do Solihull. Back to Bostock. And Solihull going down the left-hand side. Puts the ball into the edge of the area. Mayo, the defensive header. No one there for Forest Green at the back defending. Now searching down the right-hand side to Holman, who cuts inside. Robson played the ball into the area. Harry's to the defensive header. And goes off for those. Robson keeps the ball on. Little shove in the back. Referee gives nothing for that one. And Oakley has the ball on the right-hand side. Puts the ball into the area. Forest need to get a touch onto it, but it's a really aerial shot from Dooku. You thought Mays went a long way. Dooku took the other side of the pitch, and that's probably gone down Worcester Valley.
Yeah, that's probably landed at the Ram in Woodchester. I think that one on Manny Doku. He's got well underneath that on the half volley, and yeah, I think that would have cleared a set of rugby posts.
It was a good chance from though.
Ted Cairns got, yeah,
it was a poor
on the
finish, but he was unmarked in the penalty area. And a powerfully hit goal bound. It should have been. It was powerfully hit, but it certainly wasn't goal bound.
Oh, he certainly wound up for it, didn't he?
5 minutes of normal time to go. Forest Green 1, Solihull 0 here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. Goal kick by Can. Plays it long on the right hand side. Looking for McAllister. Can't be found. And Robson heads the ball back to Can. He gets told to wait by Steve Cottrell.
And actually Manny Doku goes in on the keeper as well, which he can then wait for Doku to give him a bit of space and room. And you know, goalkeeper's supposed to only take 8 seconds with the ball, aren't they? But yeah, Solihull there have actually allowed Ted Cairns to take even longer.
Ball's with Solihull now. Going to be throwing the kitchen sink time surely for them. May to Bunker. Back to Innes. To May again. He's being half pressed. Finds Harris, who slows play down. Robson on the left. Plays the ball up the line. Can't find Knowles, but Cardwell working hard to put some pressure on Solihull. May heads it down to Osadebe on the halfway line. Back to May. Searching ball, looking McAllister on the right hand side. He goes into the path of the keeper instead. And right, in a bit of a rush now. Bowls out to the right hand side. To Oakley. They're not panicking just yet. Solihull. They play the ball further upfield. And Holman searched for it. Can't be found by Dooku. He's getting frustrated himself. You can see he was really angry with himself after that poor shot a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, and it's part of the thing is that sometimes the harder you try, the more things go against you, which is kind of counterintuitive, isn't it? Because you make a mistake and you really want to make up for it. Finley Holmes is about to come on as well for Solihull, their final substitution. Adam May clears to touch inside the Solihull half, and here comes Holmes.
Yeah, Finley Holmes gets the nod, replacing Doku. You can see he was just frustrated with himself. Finley Holmes comes storming onto the pitch. There's still lots of options for Forest Green. Only 2 subs made. Toes of Jenks quickly, McCormick and Fleming still could come on. I see Jenks potentially. As the ball's with the Solihull keeper. Plays down the left hand side, along with the header. Finds Bunker on the halfway line, brings the ball down well. Back to May. Storms on forward, taps it too long, has continued his run upfield. Back to McAllister. And May to Bunker, back to Innes. Back to his keeper Can. He's being charged down. Plays to Holmes on the left hand side. He's got this space in front of him. He's a man on shout though, because he's got a man coming behind. And goes straight off for a throw. 2 minutes of normal time to go.
Today's match sponsors.
The man of the match, probably May, as
number 19, Adam
May gets the bottle of champagne. He scored a great goal. He's actually been playing in the midfield really well as well, hasn't he? He's been intercepting the ball when need be.
He's an important figure in there, is Adam May. We know that. And, defensive midfielders quite often go overlooked in football, but so important to screen the back four. And that's what he does.
Solihull go up the right hand side through Holmes, brushes off one challenge. They're looking to go down the left of Solihull. They're putting the numbers forward. Clark's making a run. Forest Green got the man back. McAllister in his own penalty area, needs to be clever with it. He's just that as he unleashes off to Davey, who goes past his man. He goes past one, storms forward. He's only got Carlo to his left, all with Oster Davey at the moment. Gets on a bit of a tangle, continues with the ball though. It just shows too much of it and cleared by Solihull. And Bunker gets the ball back to Long. There's a player down for Forest Green, McAllister. But Innes plays the ball long. Headed down by Whitmore. And the last...
I think McAllister's just got a bit of cramp after letting the ball go over the top of him, and he got clattered. He dummied it. The Solihull man out there didn't, and has just made contact with Carl McAllister,
who's down now. And Solihull aren't stopping. They're going down the left-hand side. It's opened up ball, then could they get the equalisers? The ball's played on the left-hand side in the penalty area. Going to get the ball across goal, and great defending from Long, just ushering the ball out for a goal kick Forest Green's way, and McAllister can finally get that treatment. Let's hope he's okay. McAllister, an important figure for Forest Green. He needs the physio. Fleming's already got his kit on. I imagine that will be the change there.
Yeah, you just wonder actually if rather than have received treatment and keep Carl McAllister out there and have to have 30 seconds where he's not available, Forest Green would look to make the substitution and therefore always have 11 players. Meanwhile, the fourth official signalled 3 minutes on minimum of time added on. McAllister receiving treatment and Fleming looking ready to come on.
Well, it's going to be 3 minutes once. We've clocked into the 90 now, but the ball's not been in open play, so it's going to be 3 minutes of play.
3.5 minutes, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, once the play restarts. McAllister.
Plus any time Solihull takes
take a long throw.
Take long throw-ins, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the first half finished when they took too long with the throw. Referee split up for the half time. Forest Green leading by a goal to nil. We're in that 3 minutes now. McAllister going off on the far side. So Fleming will come on. Gingerly coming off. It's going to restart with the goal kick Forest Green's way. May and Knowles get a talking to from the gaffer. And they go back into their positions. So we've had 1 minute of that, added 3 already. So you're right, it's going to be another 3.5 minutes from now. It's going to be a goal kick for Forest Green. Can takes it. As Cardwell wins the 50-50 in the air. Finds Oster Davey. He plays the ball back to Bunker. He plays the ball forward looking for Fleming. And Solihull come away with it. Now it's been time for Solihull to push everything forward, trying to get an equaliser.
Or also the time for Rovers to get a second on the counter-attack. Interestingly, it's sort of like for like Brandon Fleming going over to the right-hand side, coming on for Carl McAllister, in as much as you've got a left-footed player cutting in off the right-hand side.
McAllister's not going, he's making the long way around the pitch, he's not going down the changing rooms, which makes you think it's not awful. Knowles wins the ball back, clears the ball up the field, it goes straight into the hands of Matt Taylor, the Solihull manager.
It's good handling as well, got his W's in the right place.
Holman in the Forest Green half. Back to Whitmore in his own half. Now it's with Tunkup on the halfway line. Forest Green a bit deep. Oakley's made a space on the right hand side. Might be able to get the ball into the penalty area. Does just that, but it's well watched into the hands of Ted Can, who dives to the floor like goalkeepers do when they're trying to see out a game. Get some taps on the back from Long and Harries. Yeah,
defenders really appreciate that as a keeper if you can come and collect a cross, and that's what Ted Can's done. He's got the shout in early, he's soared high, he's grabbed it, and also Joe Quigley set to come on as a sub for Forest Green. Carl McAllister getting the applause from the main stand around us as he makes his way round to the subs bench.
Not the best distribution from Can. It goes straight out for a throw to Solihull. Big round of applause for McCann as he comes round. McAllister, sorry. McCann is here today. He's not in the squad out injured, but you can see him on the leaning against the advertising hoardings by the changing room. So we've had the 3 minutes, he's added 3 already.
Number 6, Manny
Oster Davies coming off. Whether it was innocently or not, he didn't pretend he didn't see his number on the board, and oh, what, me?
Yeah, and the referee's actually directed him to the nearest touchline and said, right, you must go off that way. So that's what Manny Osadebe done. Quigley's got himself on very quickly, though, into that position.
Fleming wins the ball back for Forest Green, drives up the line, goes past one. He's got Cardwell in the middle who can find him, but he runs into a bit of traffic as well to recover. Out-muscled off the ball, though. Solihull come away with it. It's a bit open for them. This could be the last chance. We've had 4 minutes added, 3. There probably will be another minute or so as Holman's can't be found on the right-hand side. Goes straight off for a throw.
Yeah, Tom Knowles made a lot of ground up there. Just put the pressure on the pass, and it's gone straight into touch.
And Robson didn't know much to take this throw. I think it's a bit of a relief around for us for them, because Holman could have been in space if it was a well-played ball forward. Robson with the throw. We've had 4 minutes added, 3. I think it's probably about a minute or so to go of the added time. Throw up the line, can't find Quigley or Cardwell. Big header from Harris. Knowles wins himself a foul as the Oakley comes into the back of him. Harris whacks the ball into the end of the pitch. He'll say didn't hear the whistle. And Knowles gets back onto his feet.
Yeah, brought back to his feet by Adam May. He's done a really good job for his team there. Been brave, won the free kick, and just eats up a little bit more time.
It's Forest Green holding on to this 1-0 lead. We've had 5 minutes of added time now. Coulson May with a shoot from his own half, plays it down the left hand. So there goes the full-time whistle. A welcome performance on Forest Green after disappointment last week with a 1-0 victory over Solihull. May, the goal scorer, with a fantastic long-range effort in the first half. And in truthfulness, Forest Green did well to stay out that game. Not too many clear-cut chances from Solihull, and Forest Green had chances themselves, and with Doige on the near post in particular, but Forest Green probably well worthy of picking up 3 points, Paul.
Yeah, they've earned that win. They've earned it the hard way as well. They've really had to work for that. It took a moment of something special to decide that game, and it came from Adam May, a goal worthy of winning any game, I think. Rovers probably the better of the teams, definitely deserved it, I think. Couldn't find the second. Solihull competitive without ever really threatening. They didn't quite throw the kitchen sink at it at the end. Rovers saw out the game very well, and there's good game knowledge. Think back a few years ago, Adi Pennock would have absolutely loved that as a 1-0 victory, wouldn't he? That's all you need to do to win a game. Hasn't got to be flashy and winning 3 or 4-0. Forest Green have played very well. There's been some entertaining stuff. There's no one you'd think had a bad game out there today for Forest Green.
No, all round a good performance. Yeah. Interesting though, Steve Cottrell.
7s and 8s all the way through.
Steve Cottrell gave the thumbs up to the fans behind the goal, but he was quite quickly down the tunnel. Didn't go all round the stadium. Forest Green came away with his 1-0 victory. We'll listen to Steve Cottrell or Dan Connor, who gives the post-match interviews here on Steve Kitchen's match day, even before the Hartby game at 3 o'clock or half-time there. An entertaining game for Forest Green, back into winning ways, and importantly, Paul, they want to jinx it too much talking about it. When the time they play their next home game in April, that will be a whole year without losing at home at the new lawn. And when you go into the potential, when the inevitable playoffs it will be, that is huge.
Yeah, it is. It's a really, really impressive thing. And if you win your home games and stay unbeaten at home, you keep the bulk of your supporters happy. And we've got Hey Jude blaring out across the PA system. Had a message from Heather as well, who says if Rovers can hang on and not sink to an equaliser, it will only be because the call was Mayday, Mayday. Very good, Heather. Thank you for that. And that's the sort of thing that just leads to a little bit of brevity. We said before the game it was about momentum for Forest Green, it was about confidence. Well, that has been a confident performance today by Rovers, and it's about 3 points. That's what Dan Connor said to me during the week. All this game was about getting 3 points, and Forest Green have done that today. And it's another 3 points towards a home playoff semi-final. And with Barnet seemingly certainties to take the title, then that is the next best that Forest Green can do.
Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Join us next week when Forest Green travel to Wealdstone. Full commentary on BBC Radio Gloucestershire, of course. Stay with us on Steve Kitchen's match day for that Hartby commentary at 3 o'clock in the FA Bars, and of course the rugby. Gloucester hosting Bristol Bears at 5:30, and in between we'll give you full reaction here at the new lawn. Forest Green come away with the victory, leading and winning by 1-0.
Thank you very much. Your commentary team here on BBC Radio Gloucester, your first of 3 commentary matches between now and 8 o'clock this evening here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. It's finished. Forest Green Rovers 1, Solihull Moors 0, and what a goal to seal it.
Garrick, who leaves the ball for McAllister and can't find Bunker, but May picks up the scraps again, searching ball up and under to Doige in the penalty area, forced outside of it on the left-hand side. Won himself a throw, which he looks to take it quickly, does to Garrick, and Garrick wasn't as aware of that as Doige, and gets the ball taken off from Bunkunde, and a great shot that was from Adam May. Where'd that come from? 35 glass yards out, smashes the ball home, and Forest Green go 1-0 up in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, what a goal. Adam May with the only goal of the game in the 30th minute, and that's the goal that counts. 3 points to Forest Green Rovers. They are up and running with regards to their afternoon in the National League. We shall wait and see where things go elsewhere in the National League today. Just looking at the games, York at home to Wealdstone, they'd fancy winning that one. Interesting at 5:30 kickoff, Oldham Athletic in 4th are away at Southend United. That could be sticky for them. And Barnet are at home to Gateshead in a 3 o'clock game as well today. Barnet, of course, well clear at the top of the table, 11 points clear at the top of the table. Gateshead at the moment in one of those playoff places in 6th, but we'll keep you up to date with scores throughout the afternoon here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. Cheltenham Town, of course, played last night in League 2, a disappointing 2-0 defeat at Tranmere. In the lunchtime kickoffs today, Accrington Stanley have had a great result. They've picked up a point at home to second place Bradford. It's finished Accrington 0, Bradford 0. Accrington starting the day at 20th in the table. Bradford second, hoping to take top spot. That's not happened with that 0-0 draw. Really disappointing for them, but big point that for Accrington. And Crewe have been beaten 1-0 at home by Port Vale. Crewe, of course, who will be playing Cheltenham Town in a week or so's time as well. So we'll bring you that game, of course, here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. It's 2:30.
Text A1333, starting your message with Gloss. Texts are charged at your standard message rate.
BBC Radio Gloucestershire.
So 2 more commentary matches to come this afternoon. Our next is at 3 o'clock. We're with Hartpury University. Then at 5:30, the most entertaining game for neutrals in rugby is definitely on the cards. Gloucester against Bristol. These the 2 free-flowing sides in this year's Premiership going at it head-to-head. Gloucester entertaining Bristol at a sold-out Kingsholm. It's going to be quite an atmosphere that's going to be rumbling through your radio. 5:30 kickoff later on this evening here on BBC Radio Gloucestershire. Before that, we're going to catch up with Hartpury University FC, who are possibly 2 matches away from a Wembley final. It's quite a story. It really is an amazing story that's been set up with a lot of hard work over the last few seasons. 3 promotions in the last 4 years. They're top of the Hellenic at the moment and could be promoted again. That would be back-to-back promotions if they can get there. And who knows, if they can win this 2-legged tie, they will be off to Wembley. Standing in their way, it's Whitstable Town. They've got an away leg today. That's the first leg of the semi-final. The second leg next Sunday at Hartpury University. It's exciting times for everybody involved with the university, particularly the football club. As I said, it is an incredible story. Dan Pallett has been to find out how they managed to do this. He's been speaking to Dr. Martin Longworth, who's not only senior lecturer, but he's also head coach at Hartpury University FC.
Yes, so I suppose the unconventional nature is we're all students. So we've got staff members who don't just run the football. So we've got myself, a university lecturer. We've got studentship students who are on our master's degree with our performance analysts, our S&C coaches. That's our media team. And then you've got anywhere from 16-year-olds at our college up to kind of university 18 plus. And our oldest player is 25 years old doing a master's degree.
So the oldest is 25 and every single player is a student either at the university or the college?
Absolutely, yeah. So for anywhere from our BTECs, A-levels, undergraduate degrees across sport or our postgraduate awards as well.
And you're a relatively new club as well?
Yeah, the first year was wiped out through COVID. Then we joined the National League system the year after, and then we had a season in Step 7 in the Herefordshire, so won that league, and then we've had a season in Step 6, lost the playoff final, finishing second